right now on 5 on your side at 10.
Your ballot selections are secret, but can the same be said about your participation on Election Day? Tonight, we verify.
Cool, dry air is settling in right now. Why that may have you grabbing an extra layer as you head out early Tuesday.
Our top story, a major milestone for an officer critically injured during unrest.
He has a strong will to survive.
The call tonight for the St. Louis community to come out and show their support. Good evening, everyone. I'm Kelly Jackson.
And I'm Mike Bush. It's been 3 months since Ferguson police officer Travis Brown suffered a traumatic brain injury when he was tackled by a protester. Tomorrow, a medical and police escort will take him from St. Louis University Hospital to Spirit of St. Louis Airport in Chesterfield to start his rehab journey out of state. 5 on your side's Laura Barczewski is live outside St. Louis U Hospital with how the community is rallying behind Officer Brown. Laura.
Mike and Kelly, Ferguson police officer T.J. Brown has been here at St. Louis University Hospital ever since the incident. And the Ferguson Police Department is asking people to start lining up right here on Grand so we can escort him on to the next step. Ferguson police officer Travis T.J. Brown suffered a traumatic brain injury after being pushed down by a protester on the anniversary of Michael Brown's death in August and has been on a long, hard road to recovery at St. Louis University Hospital ever since.
We've always known that TJ's recovery was going to be a journey. So knowing that he is taking the steps and is going on to the next phase of this journey and that he's strong enough and stable enough to do that is just so exciting.
The Ferguson Police Department announced Monday TJ will be headed out of state to rehab, but this journey is far from over.
We'll continue to support the family, especially as the holidays are near, and make sure they have everything that they need.
That support has already come in many forms, from fences lined with blue ribbons and signs for the family to fundraisers at events and local restaurants and even T-shirt sales. Mattingly's Embroidery has donated more than $11,000 to the Brown family from sales of TJ Strong shirts.
It thrills me to know that he's made such progress and that the community still is supporting him through this whole thing.
Co-owner Doris Finnegan says they'll keep selling shirts as long as they can to continue supporting them.
Their life has been shattered, not in the most terrible way, but still it's shattered, you know. And they will need some help along the way.
And now the police department is asking people to line his route to be a visible presence of support for the Browns as more than 200 first responders escort him to the next step.
And we're all looking forward to that day when TJ walks back into the doors of the Ferguson Police Department with that beautiful smile.
Again, people will be able to line up here along Grand all the way down to the I-64 on-ramp, and then some other options. People can also line up on the overpasses from here to Chesterfield, where first responders will be displaying flags for the procession. He is scheduled to leave here at the hospital at 11:30 tomorrow morning. Reporting live in St. Louis, Laura Barczewski, 5 on your side.
If you're planning on coming out tomorrow, you might want to bring your coat and gloves. After another mild November day, temperatures will be dropping into the 30s overnight. Weather Impact Chief Meteorologist Scott Connell is tracking this chilly change.
You know, that drier, cooler air is filtering in right now, and along with that, the taste of the season. We kind of start getting some cooler air. You've got the season over here at the Missouri Botanical Gardens. The Garden Glow opens this weekend. And if you're going this weekend, actually it'll turn out to be a little bit milder by Saturday, but the cooler air is filtering in now. We've had this front slide through. It's not a dramatic passage. It kind of just slid on through. The winds turned to the north, and now the really dry air is filtering in. And under a mainly clear sky, with the winds being fairly light, that means tomorrow morning we're in the mid to upper 30s. One of the colder mornings we've had in a while around the St. Louis area. It will be mainly clear. There could be some river valley fog, but that would be about it. So early tomorrow morning, especially from 4 to 8, those chilly temperatures will be around right around 7, 8 o'clock before they start to take off. So grab an extra layer heading out the door. You might need some gloves if you're going to be standing outside tomorrow morning for an extended period of time. We'll talk about changes for the middle of the weekend, even for the end of the weekend in a few minutes, Kelly.
All right, Scott. Tonight, St. Louis police are investigating a deadly shooting in North City. Officers were called to Goodfellow near Del Mar just before 3:30 this afternoon. Investigators say a man died. They have not released his name or a motive, no word on any arrest. And a man is dead tonight and a woman in critical condition following a shooting in O'Fallon, Missouri. It happened at a home on Pewter Court at around 6 this morning. A 29-year-old woman was shot multiple times. Police say a 40-year-old man died from a self-inflicted gunshot. Investigators believe the two were acquaintances. Their names have not been released.
Tomorrow, the future of your water bill will be the focus of an important public meeting. Missouri American Water is asking for a 40% increase in rates. Currently, customers in and around St. Louis County pay around $9 per 1,000 gallons. Consumer advocates say this increase would reportedly result in higher percent increases for low water users throughout St. Louis County. Tomorrow night's meeting is being held at the UMSL Millennium Student Center. It starts at 6 p.m. Less than a week after winning back the White House, President-elect Donald Trump is filling out his cabinet. Today, he appointed New York Congresswoman Elise Stefanik, a longtime ally, as his ambassador to the United Nations. Former New York Congressman Lee Zeldin has been tapped as administrator of the EPA. Stephen Miller, a senior advisor in the first Trump administration, has reportedly been selected as Deputy Chief of Staff, and Florida Congressman Mike Waltz will be the National Security Advisor.
Well, the job for U.S. Attorney General remains open. Missouri Senator Eric Schmidt withdrew his name from consideration. The first-term senator released a statement on X saying, quote, "I ran for the U.S. Senate to represent the people of the Show Me State, and I'm just getting started." It goes on to say, "I'm ready to roll up my sleeves and be a champion for President Trump in the Senate." How you voted is always private information, but a 5 on Your Side viewer was told anyone can find out whether she participated in the election. Ann Allred has tonight's Verify.
One of our viewers in O'Fallon, Illinois, got this in the mail, saying people can find out whether she voted on Election Day. She asked the Verify team, is it true your election participation is public record? Let's verify. Our sources, Matt Dietrich, spokesperson for the Illinois Board of Elections, and the National Conference of State Legislatures. If someone has your first and last name and where you're registered to vote in Illinois, they can access your voting history, finding out which elections you participated in. To do this, a person would have to request the information from the local election authority. Some election authorities require the request be made in person. Others take requests online. The other option is to go to the Illinois State Board of Elections in Springfield, where state law requires terminals be made available for public viewing of voter information. Things work differently, though, for registered political committees. For $500, they can get the voter data of every registered voter in the state. And they also get access to a site that lets them track in real time whether people have voted early, requested mail-in ballots, and whether they've returned them. We can verify, yes, your election participation is public record in the state of Illinois. I'm Ann Allred, 5 on Your Side.
And tomorrow night, Ann will verify the same question for Missouri voters. What would you like for us to verify? Send us an email to verify@ksdk.com.
Today, Americans took time to honor the men and women who served our country. Veterans Day ceremonies and celebrations were held across the country and here in the bi-state. President Biden took part in a wreath laying at Arlington National Cemetery, and there was another annual wreath-laying ceremony at Soldiers Memorial in downtown St. Louis. And tonight we're hearing the story of an unsung group of nurses who served during World War II.
Annie Krall sat down with a 100-year-old retired nurse now living in Ellisville to talk about answering the call when her country needed her most. Annie.
Terry Jacoby was 19 years old when she joined the United States Cadet Nurse Corps. One of her sons told us by 1945, 85% of the nurses in U.S. hospitals came from this program, crediting them with preventing the collapse of care when hundreds of thousands of injured returned home. Born in Pennsylvania on
February 27, 1924.
From 1943 to 1945, Terry Jacoby trained with the U.S. Cadet Nurse Corps, a wartime program designed to take care of civilians at home and soldiers overseas.
It's really, really good to watch them, the veterans, how they all react. It's wonderful what they do.
Terry worked at the Cleveland Clinic during World War II, taking on holiday shifts so that other nurses could be with their families.
I don't know, I was always good to the patients. Yeah, patients always liked me.
One of her 7 children, Paul Jacoby, lives in Wildwood, but moved all over the country with Terry and his father, Jim.
And I saw a grainy picture of my mom in uniform, and I said, Mom, Dad was in World War II. I didn't know you were. And she goes, oh, I was just a nurse in the war. And I was in this cadet program. So I did research, and I found out not a lot of people knew much about it.
The 1944 government short film Reward Unlimited emphasized the nursing need.
As a matter of fact, I need several $100,000 right away. Several $100,000? Well, where are they all going to come from? From all over. Women like myself who've retired, going back into active nursing. The nurses' aides help a lot. But principally, they'll come from the United States Cadet Nurse Corps.
Terry became one of 120,000 cadet nurses, a free nursing education after high school, room and board, and up to a $20 a month stipend were in exchange for graduates pledging service for the duration of the war.
They never got the credit they deserved. They're the only uniformed service people from World War II that are not considered veterans.
Eventually becoming an intensive care nurse at Missouri Baptist Hospital and an avid golfer. Now spending more time with her 17 grandchildren and 5 great-grandchildren.
It was a good life. I've lived a very good life.
Her secret, Terry tells me, is being active every day and going on 2 20-minute walks around her home at the fountains of West County.
And we thank her for her service.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Annie. A new memorial park for veterans and first responders is in the works in Maryland Heights.
Yeah, a groundbreaking ceremony was held today on the half-acre lot at the intersection of Dorset and Fifi Roads. The park will include bronze statues, bench seating, a short walking path, and flags. A set of murals will be added to the existing concrete wall in the corner of the park.
Tonight, justice served for 2 young Indiana teens.
We never knew a monster was going to come to this town. The evil part feels like it just rised up out of here.
The justice served 7 years after their brutal murders. You don't have to wait until Black Friday or Cyber Monday for holiday deals. The big savings you can find now.
And Mother Nature has a pretty good deal for us for most of the week. We are tracking the one chance for rain this shortened work week and just how much we're expecting.
Tonight, justice for 2 young Indiana girls brutally murdered in the woods.
Today, a jury found Richard Allen guilty in the 2017 stabbing deaths of 13-year-old Abby Williams and 14-year-old Libby German. Prosecutors say he admitted to cutting their throats and leaving their bodies near a hiking trail. Defense attorneys maintain Allen only confessed because he was suffering a psychotic break. After the verdict was read, there were cheers outside the courtroom in the small Indiana town.
I knew we would come to the day where we could say today is the day, and we reached it.
Allen will be sentenced next month. Police say a judge's gag order prevents them from speaking publicly about the case until then. Tonight, the Missouri State Fire Marshal is investigating after a large fire that damaged 3 businesses in Herman. The fire broke out this morning at Herman's Antique Attic and the Dappleton Hotel, which are in the same building. The flames and smoke spread next door, causing damage to downtown deli and custard shop. Residents in the town watched in disbelief as the buildings burned.
Terrible for our community, just the loss of the businesses in our downtown area. We're very supportive of each other as business owners. We try to help each other out by referring people to them. Also, the newly remodeled hotel upstairs was absolutely gorgeous. It's only been open for about a month.
One firefighter was taken to the hospital with heat exhaustion. There were no other injuries. Thanksgiving is just around the corner, and that means those big Black Friday and Cyber Monday sales are closer to Christmas.
That doesn't mean you can't find a bargain earlier in the month. And tonight, Consumer Reports handpicked some of the best November deals to help you start the holiday shopping season.
There's no better time of year for bargain shoppers than November. Here are some of the best deals on Consumer Reports' recommended products.
You don't have to wait until Black Friday to get a really good deal. Throughout November, we see lots of really great prices. They do tend to come and go, so keep an eye out on whatever you're looking to buy, and you can snag some big savings before the end of the month.
Shopping for your favorite foodie? You can't go wrong with a versatile Dutch oven. This 5.5 quart Le Creuset is on sale for $340 at Amazon. It's been a top performer in CR's ratings for years, heats up fast, and is a cinch to clean. A great pick for those who love a sleek-looking kitchen appliance? This Cosori Dual Blaze Air Fryer is now $160 at Amazon. It has a large capacity and is easy to clean. Give the gift that keeps on giving with a cool gadget that'll do some dirty work around the house. This Roborock S8 Pro Ultra robotic vacuum is $1,099 at Amazon. It earned an excellent score in CR's carpet test and doubles as a robotic wet mop. For the true tech lover on your list, the Samsung Galaxy Watch 6 LTE is $199 at Amazon. Although it's not the latest model, it holds its own against newer competitors with a range of workout, sleep, and heart rate tracking sensors. And finally, it wouldn't be November without deals on TVs. This LG OLED is $1,424 at Walmart and around $1,500 at Amazon, Crutchfield, and Best Buy. This 65-inch set delivers excellent picture quality, high dynamic range performance, and sound.
If you want to get your holiday shopping done early this year, you can take advantage of great deals like these all month. But if you want to save a bit more, wait until Black Friday when the prices might get better.
And now it's time to take advantage of those holiday deals.
And Consumer Reports says you can also watch for deals on headphones, stand mixers, smartphones, and even large appliances this month.
Chief Meteorologist Scott Connell's back with the weather impact forecast. It was a little warmer today. But not
chilly,
so much tomorrow.
Chilly tonight.
Yes, it is getting cool out there tonight. And a lot of spots already dropping back into the 40s. Looking out at Lambert now, 51 degrees currently at the airport. Yesterday it was 70. Today we had a high of 68 in St. Louis. So those numbers are way above average for this time of year. And right now we're seeing those temperatures back off a little bit. 51 degrees, dew points drop back about 10 degrees already. It's down to 36. A lot of us are going to see those northerly winds that are at 10 miles per hour slacken a little bit, but keep oozing that dry air in here. And that means tomorrow morning for many folks, we'll be down in that 35 to 39 degree range. Most of the areas in the 30s tomorrow morning, even though the winds settle down with that drier air coming in. While we don't think there's going to be a whole lot of fog around the area, some of the valley locations will have some patches of fog. Otherwise, tomorrow is a fine looking day. Plenty of sunshine. Clouds will start to roll in late in the afternoon. It's about 10 degrees cooler tomorrow than it was today. Mainly clear skies tonight and tomorrow, just a few high clouds. Our next weather system, that energy swinging in across the Rockies. It doesn't have a huge amount of moisture to work with. So as we go into Wednesday, our futurecast timing out the rain chances. South and east of St. Louis, the low level moisture starts to return. So maybe we get a few scattered showers Wednesday by lunchtime. The front itself holds up until later on Wednesday into Wednesday evening. So out ahead of that and along the front, we should have a little better chance of seeing some scattered showers. There might be a rumble of thunder, but the odds of hearing thunder or having anything substantial, very low. In fact, rainfall amounts for this generally looking at about 1/4 of an inch or so. There may be a few places off to the southeast of St. Louis where there's enough to get a 1/2 inch of rain, but we are clearly above average on rainfall for the year. After flipping, flopping back and forth between drought and then too wet and then drought and then too wet, we're kind of in that spot right now where we don't really need much rain. Wednesday from noon until about midnight, showers, a few rumbles. That could lead to some slower evening traffic, and you'll definitely want to head out the door on Wednesday morning with your umbrella. So our next 7 days, temperatures at or above average the entire time. Our rain chances, it's later Wednesday after lunchtime into Wednesday night, gone by Thursday morning. Then we'll be watching into the weekend. By later Sunday into Monday, there is a bigger pattern change that we'll be getting underway. It will deliver to us perhaps some of the coldest air we've seen so far this year along about next Wednesday. High temperatures may struggle to get to 50 degrees.
Wow, we haven't seen any of that so far.
No, we've had a hard time with cold air just getting here.
All right, thanks, Scott. Here's Frank with sports.
Mike, Mizzou had a player tonight who shot it like Steph Curry. The SLU soccer women will be playing a school that some in the area really love to hate. And a local hockey player got some life-changing news today. We'll be right back.
This 5 on Your Side Sports Report is sponsored by Telly Tire and Auto Centers, driving your way since 1942.
For the first time in about a year, Dennis Gates and the Mizzou Tigers have won 2 games in a row. It doesn't seem like a lot, but when you lose 20 in a row, any win streak is a good one. Dan Munson, with nearly 500 career wins, brought his Eastern Washington team to Columbia, and the game came down to 2 words: Caleb Grill. He was 0 of 7 from 3 entering the game. Well, he was on fire from start to finish. If he got a look, he was knocking it down. When Eastern got close, he shot it. Those were all bombs, too. One of the best shooting performances in that building ever. 10 of 13 from the field, 8 of 10 from 3, 33 points, and Mizzou wins 84-77.
Sunday Night Quarterback is sponsored by Midwest Bank Center.
Meanwhile, the football team is still in line to win 10 games. And say what you will about Brady Cook and the Tigers, but they have won 20 of their last 24. And fortunately for Mizzou, Cook's replacement, Drew Pine, turned into Doug Flutie in the fourth quarter against Oklahoma. If he wasn't scrambling, then he was making perfect throws into the end zone, this one to Brett Norfleet. And a little later, a perfect throw to Theo Weiss Jr. Brady was encouraging all night long, but keep in mind, he's never watched a game in his street clothes before.
It was definitely difficult. Probably pregame, I'd say. Just seeing the crowd funnel in, under the lights, the blackout, the Oklahoma game. That hurt a little bit. But at the same time, when the game started, I was locked in, just like I was playing, and especially when we won that. There was no feelings of anger.
Love the Lindenwood football story over the weekend. They shocked 6th-ranked SEMO 24-12. They are building a program. Love this even more. In the era of the portal, this program has only had one player transfer out in 2 years.
I think it just is really a testament of our coaching staff and how they not only on the field, but how they pour into their players relationally and get to know their guys, and the things that they do off the field is what makes our program and our culture really strong, and I think kids like to be a part of that.
Let's head to Stan Kroenke's $6 billion SoFi Stadium. The Dolphins came in 2-6 and went to town on the Kroenke bunch. Tua Tagovailoa to Tyreek Hill. The Dolphins give the Rams a bad loss, 23-12. The Rams are 4-5. I love it. I love it. Hey, these are the SLU soccer women getting their NCAA tourney news. The Billikens are the 8th seed. They will host Kansas on Friday. They've only lost one game, and they are experienced. 9 of their starters are juniors, seniors, or in their 5th year.
They've been here before, the highs aren't too high, the low isn't too low. The reaction is just, it's what's next, it's what's in front of us. And so I think we'll follow their lead in the preparation. And absolutely, the moment's not going to be too big for any of our women.
This young man behind me is one tough fella. Imagine at age 18 being told you have Hodgkin's lymphoma, and to make matters worse, you are told you can't play hockey your senior season. But before he actually had to have his surgery, his doctors allowed Cameron to play one last game for his team, and he scored a goal. It was like out of a movie. Then he had the surgery. It went well. And this lifelong Blues fan this Saturday got to experience the thrill of a lifetime. Cam got to skate on the ice before the Blues, and he met the players. Well, that's only the second best news Cameron Samples has recently received.
My doctor called me, and she was saying that my scan came back and all of it was gone, and that was officially in remission. And just the feeling of that was, the best feeling I've ever had. And knowing that my life can go somewhat back to normal these next few months is like biggest weight off my shoulders I've ever had.
So fantastic.
Great
Yeah.
news.
And how about this? The playoffs start in January. There's a chance he could play.
Wow, how exciting would that be?
That would
Gonna
be
be at that game.
fantastic.
Yep.
Frank, thanks.
Well, we're talking turkey tonight. The reason you'll want to go over the river to buy your Thanksgiving bird.
Comedian Billy Crystal is coming to St. Louis later this month. He will honor Bob Costas at the Musial Awards. I'm lucky enough to MC the event for the 19th straight year, and we're giving a Lifetime Achievement Award to Bob, the Hall of Fame broadcaster. The awards are set for November 23rd at Stiefel Theater. Tickets are still available on musialawards.com. The nationally televised program will air next month.
That's going to be a great night. Better safe than sorry. Costco is recalling 80,000 pounds of its Kirkland brand butter because the label didn't include the words contains milk. The recall has drawn some sarcastic criticism, as you can imagine, on social media because butter is a dairy product. Your Thanksgiving turkey is going to take less stuffing out of your wallet this year. According to Finance Buzz, the average price is $2.08 per pound. That's down 12% from last year. The average price of a 15-pound frozen bird in Missouri is $34. That is $12 more than in Illinois.
And Scott has one final check of this chilly weather.
Well, I'm in shock over the turkey prices.
That's a big difference.
Butter contains milk. Who knew? All right, tomorrow's a chilly start. We are in the 30s walking out the door. Only 58 for the high, despite plenty of sunshine tomorrow. We will have some showers in here, but they're rain showers on Wednesday.
All right, there you have it. 5 on your side at 10. We're always streaming on 5+.
Be sure to start your day with Today in St. Louis. That starts at 4 a.m. Have a great tomorrow.